this spring. How has he done with that? Have you seen what you wanted to see from him this spring?
You know, I did early on. I think he hit a little bit of a wall for whatever reason this last week. It hasn't improved the way that I wanted him to improve, but I'll tell you what, he's a conscientious kid, so he'll get it right. You know, he's having a little lull right now, but he'll get back on track. But he cares. I can tell you that he's trying to get better. He's doing everything I ask him. He's just having a little bit of a slump this week, but he'll get back.
You mentioned him being conscientious. Does that help him kind of maybe work through some of these lulls, some of the wall quicker?
Absolutely. I'd love to. Those are the kind of players I want to coach. He deeply cares. I mean, it appeals to his pride if he's not improving at the rate he wants to, or he's not getting better at maybe a certain technique that he wants to. So because of that, I'll coach him, he'll listen, and he'll get better at it. So I can't say enough about his character. He's a great kid, so he'll be fine.
Zach, with all the additions you've had with Josh and Vaughn, just how much more explosive are you guys right now than maybe you were last year?
You know, a lot more explosive. We just have more weapons. I mean, we can do more things in the offense. You know, we can formation things to get different guys the ball. That's huge. As a defense, if you just key on one or two guys and they know every time they run the jet sweep, it's getting ran to this guy. And it takes away some mystery. Now I think we can do those things with a lot of guys. You know, and that's fun. So it's been neat. You know, and I'll tell you what, I think it's raised the level of our defensive backs too. You know, that all of a sudden they're a lot more competitive than they were, and the two groups going battling head to head every day because of the new talent is really, with the addition of the Emmanuel Mosleys and those guys, has been great.
You always talk about how many wide receivers you want because of how much they run. How many guys do you feel like right now you can kind of count on to say, you know, obviously you don't have a game next week, but if you did, that say, hey, they're ready, we think we can at least play them?
That's a good question. I don't know if I have the answer to that right now. It depends on the hour, if you ask me, probably. When you have young players, it's always like that. You're really high on them 1 minute, you're down on them the next minute. You just forget they're young. I keep telling them it. You know, everyone says this guy should still be in high school, and this guy just came from. That's all. No one cares. Alabama doesn't care, right? LSU doesn't care. They don't care. They're just going to line up and play. It doesn't matter. We can't say timeout. This guy should still be in high school. We got to go. So I don't know yet to answer your question. Hopefully all of them. We still got a whole summer, a whole training camp to get them ready, and it takes time to get a guy ready to play at this level, especially young guys.
We've heard Coach Jones over and over talk about consistency. Can you talk about how consistent or inconsistent Vaughn has been and how he has changed as a player, as a receiver in the 11, 12 practices he's been here at Tennessee?
I think he's changed a bunch. You know, he was awful the first scrimmage. He was less awful the second scrimmage. And he was a little bit less awful the third scrimmage. And I tease him with that stuff. So there was marked improvement from scrimmage 1 to scrimmage 3, just on our style of play, the things that we do, our consistency. I don't think he ran the right route one time the first scrimmage. He just went out there and kind of freaked out a little bit, which is why we scrimmage. We go in Neyland Stadium to see what happens. I saw what happened. And then the other day he made some plays because he was where he was supposed to be. He got there how he was supposed to get there. And all of a sudden he's like, wow, this kind of works. And so I think there's definitely some vast improvement with him. And the other thing is he's got so much energy and juice. It's hard to stay angry at him for more than about 10 seconds. So he's going to be fine. He's fun to coach.
It would seem like once that light does go off, then that's when the improvement really, kind of just takes off. Is that the case?
That's right. The game's got to slow down for him right now. At Feather River, it was, hey, just line up over there, we're going to throw it to you. That was about the extent of what was happening. Where now he understands it. I don't know if he understands it yet, but we're trying to get him to figure out that your route affects that route. That route affects your route. It's not just, hey, go make Sports Center with a diving catch. That's all great, but that's not football, unfortunately. So he's learning that slowly but surely because I think he had one catch the first scrimmage and one catch the second scrimmage. So my nickname for him for the last week was 22, and he didn't like that. And then he came out last scrimmage and had a good scrimmage.
I think being one of the, I guess one of the older guys in that bunch, but one of the less experienced ones, is that an interesting dynamic in terms of where he falls in terms of being a leader, or is being a leader something you either have or you don't?
You know what? Yeah, he's not a leader yet. I just want him to line up and play as hard as he can right now. He's older, so things don't get to him as much as they might get to Josh, because Josh he's really young. I mean, he should still be in high school. Whereas Von's been there, done that. He's competed at a different level. He's been through some adversity playing this game and some other adversity in his life, so he doesn't get down as fast as maybe a younger guy. So I can see that.
Does he, Josh Smith has been a little bit limited, obviously, at times coming back from the knee and everything, but for him to go out there and make a couple big plays on Saturday, how big was that for him?
It was huge. I was so happy for him, so proud of him. Long way to go technique-wise. Again, he missed the winter. So all the skill development we got to do, he didn't get to do any of it. He was literally cleared the week of spring ball. So for him to come out and have a big time, and he was sick. He got really sick for about 2 practices and couldn't practice because he had the flu. So he missed 2 practices in the spring. So for him to come out that Saturday and do that, I was really happy for him. He's playing with some confidence, some swagger, which he needed, coming off last season.
I guess
2 more.
Those instincts probably help when you've missed as much as he's had to miss to go out there and make plays like that. Still, I guess if you're a ball player, you're a ball player to some level.
He loves to play too, and the one thing I can say about him, which I hope they say that about every player I have, is he's tough. I mean, he's tough. He came back from that flu. They said, hey, just limit him. He's real weak. He lost 10 pounds. I'm not sure he can play more than 10 plays. My man played like 60 plays that day. He didn't want to come out. I almost had to carry him off the field, me and his dad, but that's what kind of player he's. He's a tough kid, and his instincts come out, and he just loves to play.
What enabled Marquez to contribute as much as he did last fall? What is the next step for him?
The next step for him is just playing wide out, understanding the game a little bit better, his breaking points, some of the nuances of playing receiver that he really didn't have last year. So once he gets those things down, I think he'll be a little bit better. Understanding press coverage and how to get open, those things are going to help him a lot. He needs to improve in those areas.
Thank you, Coach.